As you said, my name is McCall, and I am a victim and a survivor of what many call parental alienation. I'm nobody special. I was raised in a blue-collar family. I married a woman who was from a blue-collar family as well. My parents celebrated their 57th wedding anniversary this past May. We got married late in life at 27. Everything was fine. My wife had suffered for years from migraines, which were later diagnosed as pseudotumor cerebri. About 6 years into our marriage, Eric came, and we were both very excited, very happy for this. And at first, things were just fine. Then she began to engage in a variety of odd behavior. She would yell at me because I would tell Eric that before he could have dessert, he had to eat supper. That when we were cleaning up one set of toys, he had to pick up the others first. So before playing with the Legos, we had to pick up the Tinker toys first. He would get upset, he would be very angry, and he would go cry to his mother. His mother would comfort him, and at one point even said, "Well, Eric, I'll just get you a new daddy, a daddy who is not so mean." Years before our divorce began, she was involved in trying to create a wedge between my son and I. Yet I was the one that held him first. He came by C-section, and so I got to hold him before his mother did. And we had a very, very special, and what I took as a very tight bond. She was the first to tell Eric about our divorce. She told him while I was still out of town at my parents' house. I come home and he says, "Daddy, Daddy, please don't leave." Yet we had made the agreement that we would tell him together. The first claim of abuse came after I filed legal papers asking her to identify the man and 2 children who had moved into her house shortly after I had moved out. CPS investigated this claim and found that there was nothing there. It was a false allegation. 4 months later, she tried again, and this time CPS believed her. CPS pushed for an investigation, and as a consequence, I lost my visitation rights to Eric, I lost my teaching job, and ultimately I lost my freedom as I was arrested. The damage to my reputation for false allegation was very difficult for me to accept. 4 months and 2 court hearings later, though, my visitation was restored not by CPS, but by the judge himself. And I was very excited for this. Eric and I got to engage and be able to hang out a lot more. And as we made our exchanges, at first it was a hug hello, a hug goodbye. But as time went on, I wound up getting only a fist bump as a goodbye and no more hugs. He was afraid to show any positive emotion towards me. Eric was having issues at school, issues that concerned his principal, the school nurse, and his teacher. So much so that they volunteered to the amicus attorney that they would like to share these things whenever we came to trial. We had a psychological evaluation, and we had a new court-ordered play therapist to review what was happening with Eric and with us, and we wound up having a jury trial. A jury trial that she asked for as she was seeking to terminate my parental rights. After a week of trial and more than 6 hours of deliberation, a jury ruled 11-1 to actually terminate her parental rights. I was able to stay as Eric's father. The judge allowed her to go home and to say her final goodbye. Eric was supposed to be at school. It was a Friday. But he was held home because he was sick and was being babysat by her mother and father. I called ahead to the police and asked them to do a courtesy standby, and they said, well, somebody had already called 911, and police were already there. What I did not know at the time was that the police were there because they were afraid of me. She had called the police so many times on false claims that I was stalking her, stalking the house. So there I am at the front door, and I am knocking, hoping to be allowed in, when she pulls into the back drive. She walks up the stairs, takes Eric to the master bedroom, and she shoots him, and then shoots herself, all with me knocking at the front door. I was devastated. My entire world had just imploded. I had just an hour before legally gained custody of my son, only to have him taken away from me. And so for his 8th birthday, I got to bury him. I have been asked, is my case unique? Is what happened to me because of her unique background as a police officer, as a mental health professional with a master's degree in psychology, a PhD in criminology, was she uniquely situated to be able to manipulate the system? No. No, she is not. As a matter of fact, what happened to me keeps happening again and again and again. Just last month, a person in the DFW area is now suffering through what I have gone through, in which he went and killed his children and killed his ex-wife because he did not like that she had won. Parental alienation, hostile aggressive parenting, or any other form that we would like to call it, is child abuse, and it destroys families in every possible way that a family can be destroyed. My story, as I said, is not unique, and it is all too common. It needs to end, and it needs to end now. As we approach Father's Day, I found a photo. This was a photo that I found on Father's Day, 9 months after Eric had been killed. A true treasure that I keep close to my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, together we can make a difference. Together we can be on the forefront. Thank you very much.